Once again, in our pre-market update this morning, 5 days last week, they slid the bid. We got very nice breakouts today on Google, right up to the highs of 603 even, and then we pull back and we get a nice breakout, and here from that top, it's all about sliding the bid. And what does that mean? That means walking the prices down off their highs. Okay, not only did they do it here, they did it with the Apple ones and all of the ones that we had talked about in pre-market this morning. And we talked about 5 days in a row last week, they sold equities off into their highs no matter what during this time frame. Once again, when we take a look over here, we can see the highs and we can see those lows. It had the gap up today. Right here was your gap up. Let's take a look at that number. You can see the gap up clearly on the chart. We all can see that. Once we made the highs, we faded back. That was a good long position, but I can tell you that we took out that lower price and we're headed back down. Slide the bid on Apple. Right here, when we couldn't take out, this is our SMF platform, when we could not close above here, what we did was we slid half of these bid bar right here and we started down. It was a straight short on Apple. Google, when we take a look at its highs over here, this is where that trend started down. It rebounds, but guess what? Slide the bid again. So the volatility, it's a triple witch options expiration week. Triple witch will be the category because that's what this week is about. They're going to rebalance out options, stock options, index options, quarterly options, and the whole shebang across the board. Once again, though, just like the previous week, today is Monday, 12/13, but they slid the bid off the highs. Equities continue and remain to sell into their actual intraday trend highs. Not good, because what we talked about in pre-market is, are these pullbacks going to diminish? And yes, they pulled back normally and we came up, but when we failed to make these highs over here again, and we couldn't take out this market maker price action line right here in our platform, we slid that bid, so the shorts got it. That's a good short sell. They brought it down and now we're trying to bounce on Google. We're going to show that NFLX trade about that short all day, and you can see what a short-sided market is about selling. We put the highs in over here on NFLX right up around 192.61, and we started to slide. When we started to slide that first $2 pullback, we have never looked back. And we have, in our platform here, we have gone all the way down. Slide that bid short all the way down. The video. Here we are on Amazon.com. Once again, the previous 5-day week prior to this Monday, which is 12/13 of 2010, equities again for the 6th straight day in the trading session on the gap. We run up, we put in the highs, we start sliding the short sales right here, we start breaking down here, we start breaking down here. We had a good breakout here on the opening bell that we talked about in pre-market and what that would look like up to the high, and then the long-term short from this top to that bottom, and it's day number 6 that trade is to sell short. You can see the NASDAQ went into negative territory. NASDAQ 100 just went into negative territory. So once again, the indexes are rolling over and equity prices are selling off hard into the closing bell. Right here in the SMF MMT symbol minder, everything that's in the brain, you know, is calculated in text and voice alerted, but you can see how weak they are in the system, and you can see all the names are selling off right away. So basically that's what that looks like, MMT. You can see how weak Apple is, Amazon, you can see NFLX, HGSI is weak, GLD, that's the gold ETF. The Baidu is pretty weak. Some of the leaders, though, in that internet index, they're just selling off, and there is that right there. So as we go into this bell here with a triple witch, is that equities are selling off. Here is the Apple trade right here selling off 325, almost going to give up a lot of its gains on selling short. That's what the MMT platform says. When it falls weak, you got to take them down. So it's a 6 trading day in a row where equities have slid the bid. The SMF price action, they have slid it down. They shorted them down. They can't hold the gains. There's no diminishing pullback in price action as stated in pre-market today on 12/13 of 2010. Never happened. It was one of the things we were looking for. We are looking for, do we continue to sell off, pull back, and consolidate higher price action gains? Both are still up on the day. There's nothing to fret about that. However, the disturbing thing is not holding the higher price action for the bulls, that is. For the bears, it's wonderful because you can sell them short down. This one here was up to 603. It's 597.35, still up $5 on the day on 2 million shares on Google. But my point of it is, MMTs, they've been sliding them off the highs. Closing bell. And the indexes, both of what Apple trades into because it's selling down, that took the NASDAQ 100 into negative territory. The NASDAQ comp down 6.48 handles. So NASDAQ in the negative territory going in the closing bell.